Good morning. The clouds are clearing. It's already quite warm. It's only like 10:30, and we are heading off to Westfield to go and have a day of test driving cars because we need a new car because of what you saw at the end of the last vlog. So we are going to go and drive a couple.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
In Mother Care, looking at changing mats and clothes and nappy bins and all sorts of fun things. We have bought a buggy though, so slash pram, so that's exciting. We're just wandering around Denham Village Fair today, and the sun's coming out, which is nice. They're looking really cash. There's no rush there. Hello, it's Tuesday, and you know, things are kind of getting back to normal a bit, I guess, after bank holiday weekend, which included a fun trip to Denham to see the fairs you saw, lots of baby related shopping and test drives and all sorts, and the European parliamentary elections which I wasn't going to get away without saying anything about. So basically most places have finished counting, or if they haven't, they have a pretty good projection of what the results are likely to be. Long and the short of it is that what you might call the traditional centre-right and centre-left parties have lost a bit of ground, and the centrist parties, i.e. the Liberals, if you will, across Europe, have gained a bit of ground, and the Greens have gained a bit of ground as well. And then the left-wing, the extreme left-wing fringe has collapsed, and the extreme right-wing fringe has picked up, but neither dramatically, despite what you might be reading. Not really much has changed. It's a sort of slight creep, I would say, but nothing dramatic. So in the UK it was very good. Remain parties won a lot more votes and seats than they were predicted to do so. Brexit party basically just took over from where UKIP was, gained a couple from the Tories, but not a lot. I mean, not a lot really. So I think that means, as I've said before, Brexit's really over, but the dust needs to settle and people need to actually formally state that. So that will happen over the next few months, I would imagine. Good morning. It's the first time I've done this walk in a while. It's very green now. Everything is fully out, and even the massive mushrooms. Also, elderflower have come into bloom this week. This is the week to be making elderflower cordial. You just pick the flower head like so, pick lots of them, and then you boil them in sugar water, essentially. So you get loads and loads of water, add some sweetener, and you boil the flower heads until the colour leaves them. And it doesn't, with the white ones, it's a lot of the colour comes from the stalks, but you end up with this very pale yellow cloudy water, and then you strain it through some muslin cloth, and voila, elderflower cordial, which is delicious. So by the time you see this, there may not be any elderflower out, but you can make a note for next year. I always do it around the 1st of June, somewhere around there. I just bumped into a former colleague of mine on the train who still works at Global. This is the week that a lot of shows finish because they're merging everything into regional and national shows. And it was nice to catch up, and the first thing I thought was, God, I'm so glad I don't work there anymore. What a shambles, frankly. It's just bad handling of people. You know, the idea of merging shows and making bigger regions and networked national shows is perfectly solid. Don't have a problem with that. It's how you treat your staff and how you treat your talent that I always have problems with. But anyway, I'm not there anymore, so that's great. It doesn't look it, but it is very warm today. I have just been to the Apple store and the Seat store, looking at laptops and cars respectively, one of which is slightly more urgent than the other. And now I need to get some lunch, and then I'm going to head off to Windsor, go and see Adam and talk about a video I've been working on for far too long, to be honest. Just casually in Windsor. Just came down to have a little catch up with Adam, and it was very nice. And now I'm going to get back on the train. Hopefully it'll be a better journey than the way here, and go back to Richmond. Good morning and happy Friday. It is actually quite early by my standards, and I'm off to buy a shirt, because the shirt I did have, which is a very nice shirt I wore for the wedding, my wedding, is no longer in very good condition, and I only worn it like 3 times, so that's annoying. But something's happened to it in the wash, so that's the first order of business. And then we're going to head off west towards Bath, stop on the way, maybe see a manor, a garden centre, who knows, and then go to our little place, which is in Oldland Common, which you might know, sort of south east Bristol, more east than south I think really. And then maybe we might even be in Bristol itself this evening for a bizarre reunion of sorts. Good afternoon. We're in Loden. This is a garden centre and farm shop. We were here back in March, actually, on our way back from the Cotswolds. We stopped in here as the weather was collapsing around us. We went and had lunch in their restaurant, which is pretty much exactly what we're trying to do now in the opposite direction. We are here in Laycock, which is National Trust Village, home of Mr. Fox Talbot, who originated one of the methods of early photography in the United Kingdom. And there's also quite an impressive abbey and some very old houses. We're going to have a little wander around before we head off to our cottage for the weekend. Here is Laycock Abbey, which is it's famed for many things, filming location in particular. Some of the corridors, porticos were used in the Harry Potter films, which we'll see shortly.
He's doing citrus stone on the cruise and it's nearly 800 years old.
It's very familiar. So somewhere here is the that room of that gives you whatever you need.
Room of requirements.
The room of requirements, that's the one. Here we have Harry Potter's parents' house. It's very nice. And next door, a very, very lovely pottery studio. It looks like an old mill, possibly. Don't know. This is the Sign of the Angel, which is also Potter. It's from Half-Blood Prince, as is the house down here on the right, which is Horace Slughorn's house, also from Half-Blood Prince. And there it is, in all its magnificence. He had a nice gaff, old Horace. Welcome to our tiny cottage for the weekend. You'll notice there is bread on the roof. That's for the sparrows. There's quite a few sparrows up here. They're very chirpy. Anyway, here we go. Come on into our humble abode. It's a little living room with fireplace, stairs obviously up to the bedrooms. The kitchen area, it is quite a low ceiling. My head is currently touching the ceiling. But it's quite a big kitchen otherwise, like if you're not 6 foot tall. And then come up the world's tightest staircase. Here is the second bedroom. Single bed, very cute. Amazing how much furniture they've squeezed into this place. And you've got an actual bathroom with a bath on one side and a shower, which seems completely ridiculous in a space this small. Very nice. And then you come up into the master bedroom, which is lovely and bright and by far the biggest room in the house. And then you can complete the loop and go back down the stairs to the living room. Hello, it's me from the future, about a month hence, because I realised there was a good couple of weeks where I didn't do a word of the week, and I don't recall not doing a word of the week, but I guess that's kind of the problem. I'm going to blame it on baby brain, which is infectious apparently, and leads me nicely to the word of the week this week, which is the baby. The baby is the word of the week. So first of all, in German, very straightforward, das Baby. Das Baby is German for the baby. And in Italian, it depends on the gender. So if it's a baby boy, you'd say il bambino, il bambino. But if it's a baby girl, then you would say la bambina. So that seems more appropriate in our case, la bambina. So there we go, that's baby in German and Italian, and that was this week's word of the week. Thank you very much for watching this week. Do stay tuned because next week begins with an amazing wedding and some beautiful drone shots over the eastern edge of Bristol. So yeah, that's the reason to stay tuned, and it's also the reason to subscribe. If you subscribe, then things will appear in your subscription feed. If you click the bell, then you'll get an email notification. So that's all. Thanks for watching. See you later.